Now that we're successfully registered in the course, let's look at how we do some of the homework and things. So I'm going to come down here into Unit 1. Starts with an overview, basically says what the assignments are, what topics we're covering, those kinds of things. But let's come down here to, here's our first homework assignment that isn't just, here's practicing using the system. So this is 1.1 through 1.5. And if I click on this Learn page, what comes up is I happen to have some notes written for this one. I'll be writing notes throughout the semester. But then also down here at the bottom, we've got some resources from the publisher, PowerPoints, links to the textbook, links to videos, which would load if I was logged in the correct way. Okay, so when you're doing an assignment or before you're doing an assignment, if you want to see what's in it and learn and practice a little bit, that's there. And then if I click on the actual homework here, it's going to ask me to open Pearson. And if I click that, I'll come to a screen like this. So here's my homework. I can either click on Get Started or click on one of the problems exactly. Let's click on this first one. Okay, so this just asked me, a simple question from the homework. If I click on the answer, click on check answer, great, I get that one right. Here, let me get this one wrong. Okay, if you get a question wrong, it'll tell you right away. And it's going to say, hey, here's how you do it, maybe a hint. If you get a question wrong too many times, it'll mark it wrong. Let's see, I want to reset this so that I can just do a new one. So I'm going to click View an Example, help me solve this. Close. All right. If you get a question wrong too many times, it'll mark it wrong, and then you can click on Similar Question to redo it. If you get it right the second time, do I need to read the question to get it right? Let's see, 30. Then 9,000. Then 9,000. Okay, if you get it right the second time, it'll give you this correct check mark. And so basically you're just working through this homework to practice both the concepts and in this first unit, like I mentioned, using your calculator. If you do get stuck, help me solve this. We'll walk you through a similar problem, one step at a time, asking questions along the way. View an example. We'll just walk through a similar problem and give you what you should be looking at. More help. This one happens to have a link to the textbook. And then also Ask My Instructor. This just sends me an email with a direct link to whatever question you're looking at so I can reply to you. I like that feature. It is why I said you should use an email you have access to when you're setting up your account, because that would give me an automatic reply to the email you put in. Okay, this is a gist of homework. You keep working through till you get the percent you're looking for. You can get a 100% if you've got the time and energy. Otherwise, I suggest people work to get one grade higher than they want to get in the course. So if you're trying to get a B, let's say, the cutoff for an A is 90%, so you should try to hit 90% on all your homework so that your tests are average out to that B level. All right, once you've done all the homework for a unit, and you get down here to this practice test, the practice test is going to require that you've done all the assignments so far in the unit so that you can access it. And the practice test is just a little different. It is set up to be the same types of questions. Okay, you may recognize a couple of these, and a couple of these you wouldn't have seen yet from our preview, but you would have seen while you're working through the homework. Okay, you'll notice these should be gone. You'll notice when you're doing the test, you don't have Help Me Solve This and View an Example. And once you are done with it entirely, you can click Submit and be done. This practice test and the test are really similar. The test is just worth more. You can do the practice test as many times as you want, and then the test is kind of our final assessment for the unit. Once you're done with that, there's this little course review. It's just a homework to make sure you are remembering how to do the things from the unit. It doesn't make a ton of sense in the first unit, but to be consistent, I have it there. But every unit has one of those that looks back on all the previous units, because once you hit the end, we've got this final exam. There's one course review, and then the final exam itself. that should be everything you need to know to work through the homework in the class. Remember, review those Learn pages if you're stuck, and I will be, like I said, adding notes to those. I guess I'm down to right about here, which is why I have the 3 asterisks there. But if you have questions about anything, remember, you can always reach out. My job is to help you pass our course.